After the release of Mortal Kombat in 2021, producer Todd Garner and writer Greg Russo were immediately involved in talks about the franchise's future. In collaboration with director McQuoid, they hope to create standalone movies on the main characters and a sequel. With many hurdles with the SAG-AFTRA strike, Warner Brothers has finally managed to see the project through, and Garner recently revealed that they wrapped up production in January 2024. While the movie has a long time before we might get a trailer, it is slated for release on October 24th, 2025, and fans have already started creating theories for what we can expect from the sequel. Today, we will be exploring some of the best theories surrounding the movie's plot, themes, and characters. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Silence!
Will there be a tournament this time? When one mentions Mortal Kombat, the first thing that comes to anyone's mind is the titular tournament. By this logic, fans were quite surprised when the first movie only focused on Raiden, preparing Earthrealm's champions for the tournament, and omitted the actual tournament. This raised many eyebrows, but Greg Russo rushed to acknowledge this and established that the tournament would be the key highlight of the sequel. The creators are playing the long game as they hope to turn the movie into a trilogy that touches all bases and slowly but surely unravels Earthrealm's champions' challenges and journey. Fans have also acknowledged the fact that the reboot is trying to come up with innovative ways to cover new grounds in the franchise, but the exclusion of the tournament after the first film, focused solely on character building, does not add up. Instead, fan theories suggest that the sequel can combine the tournament with other central plot points, such as the arcane device, especially after the reboot film tweaked the traditional tournament in more ways than one. After Shang Tsung broke the rules by launching an attack on Earthrealm's champions during their training, Cole Young stepped up to teach him and the Outworld fighters a lesson. Fans hope the sequel takes it a step further, with Earth's champions traveling to Outworld for an official tournament. While Shang Tsung and Cole Young are guaranteed to cross paths, we also hope to see more of Liu Kang, one of the greatest Mortal Kombat characters who deserves more screen time. Welcome to the Netherrealm. While most of the reboot takes place on Earth, fan theories suggest that the sequel will take us to the Netherrealm, which is essentially their version of Hell. The reboot has done a good job of establishing context for Earthrealm's champions, and it is only the right move to shift them to a new location. Many set photos and casting announcements suggest the same, including characters such as King Jarrett and Queen Sindel, who overlook the politics of Outworld. Desmond Chiam is set to play King Jarrett, while Anna Tu Win has been cast as Queen Sindel. Other set photos seem to show Shao Kahn's throne room and the Netherrealm, which confirms that the movie will drag us to the pits of hell at one point. The Netherrealm is also home to all banished souls after their demise in the living world, and including this location would provide many answers regarding Sub-Zero and Scorpion's current status. This realm is ruled by forces of evil such as Shinnok and Quan Chi, and it opens a world of possibilities for these characters to appear in the reboot and hopefully recreate some of the game's most iconic fatalities on the big screen. Cyborg ninjas, a new threat. Sub-Zero remains to be one of the most iconic characters in Mortal Kombat, even if his face is hidden behind a mask. There were two different Sub-Zeros in the video games, with Bai Han appearing as the original one, until his villainous persona led to his eventual downfall. However, Bai Han's rather mortal brother, Kuai Liang, seems to have stepped up to assume this persona, and we can expect this cyborg ninja to make a comeback in Mortal Kombat 2. Some fan theories have suggested that Kuai Liang might appear as Bai Han's descendant instead of his brother, making the plot more streamlined regarding Sub-Zero's rivalry with Scorpion. In the past, Scorpion and Cole Young managed to kill Sub-Zero, and establishing Kuai Liang as Bai Han's descendant created a situation where two warring clans fought each other time and time again. Hopefully, they might even set their differences aside for the greater good of the world, which is quite plausible, since Kuai Liang is known for his noble, heroic nature in video games. The video games also popularized the Cyber Initiative, which was established by Sub-Zero's clan to strengthen themselves against rivals such as the Shirai Ryu. The initiative also stresses values such as loyalty and obedience to the clan, to the point where they connect their brains with a hive mind consciousness chip and it would be quite interesting to see how the movie integrates these components to build more exciting battles. New characters we can't wait to see. For starters, Johnny Cage is all set to appear in Mortal Kombat 2, with Karl Urban portraying this powerhouse of a character. Additionally, Shao Kahn and Katana are all set to appear on the big screen and will be portrayed by Martin Ford and Adeline Rudolph, respectively. Shao Kahn is notoriously known as one of the most dangerous characters in the Mortal Kombat universe, and set photos gave us a glimpse of him in his iconic throne room. However, he has a small role to play in the sequel, and the creators are focusing on slowly building him up as a Thanos-level villain who wreaks havoc by the end of the franchise. Johnny Cage finally joins the fight. After an extremely long wait, Johnny Cage is finally about to play a role in Mortal Kombat, and fans cannot wait to see this emerald-glowing, witty, arrogant movie star on the big screen. Ever since the reboot was announced, fans have waited with bated breath for this moment, but the franchise went a different way and debuted Cole Young in the first film. After much patience, Johnny Cage joined the fight, and it was interesting to see how he clashed with Cole Young. The two appear as foils to each other, as they have similar fighting abilities and very contrasting career paths. While Cole Young was known for fighting in obscure situations, Johnny Cage went on to become a global movie star, and the movie just might compel the two to set their differences aside and fight on the same team. Cage's character will be portrayed by none other than Karl Urban, and some fans are skeptical about this decision to cast a big actor for such a minor role. This might suggest that Cage might have a bigger role in the movie, but only time will tell how Urban fits into this role. Cage is typically depicted as a self-centered fighter who eventually grows into a genuine selfless hero. And the 2023 Mortal Kombat 1 reinforced this storyline, and the reboot seems greatly focused on depicting this development on the big screen. Return of dead characters. Mortal Kombat 2 also marks the return of several dead characters, such as Reptile, Melina, and Natara. Some other characters that may be revived are Prince Goro, Cabal, and General Raiko, while Joe Taslim is all set to return as Sub-Zero. Josh Lawson is notably portraying the infamous Australian villain, Kano. Kano's return suggests that the creators are trying their hand at introducing supernatural elements in Mortal Kombat 2 and possibly even exploring some kind of sorcery. Such elements had previously made their way to the screen in terms of Shang Tsung's dark magic abilities, but reviving dead characters is certainly taking things to a whole new level. However, this is just one theory, and other plausible theories suggest that Kano's revival hints at the merging of the live-action film universe with the modern Mortal Kombat games to create a multiverse of sorts. In the reboot, Kano was one of the many champions of the Earth Realm who faced Shang Tsung before his eventual death in a clash with Sonya Blade. Despite his death, Josh Lawson has been cast as Kano in the sequel, and his revival suggests that he might be gathering an army to hold a tournament in Hell, or that he has returned to Earthrealm to train with the champions. On the other hand, Kano's revival hints at some major expansion within the cinematic Mortal Kombat universe, as they introduce concepts such as time travel or magical resurrection. Fans have also theorized that Kano could just be sent to the Netherworld, which further confirms the idea that the sequel's plot will be tied to the video game. Increased role for Scorpion. Scorpion's rivalry with Sub-Zero has been quite a running theme across the franchise, and Sub-Zero's return hints at an increased role for Scorpion as well. Both of them were an opposing warrior clan, and Sub-Zero was seemingly a standout. While Scorpion was not nearly as powerful, he is portrayed by Hiroyuki Sanda, and we can expect to see him stand up to Sub-Zero, especially if the film is set in the Outworld. Besides Sub-Zero, the villainous Quan Chi has been theorized to appear as a major villain, and his evil schemes have led us to discover Scorpion's backstory in the original franchise. Given that their histories are tied together, Quan Chi's return fits like the last puzzle piece in the mystery of Scorpion's return. It might also provide some insights into how Scorpion managed to escape the afterlife after he bargained with Quan Chi and accepted some of his demands. One can also expect a dark turn as Quan Chi uses his power over Scorpion to pit him against the heroes in the Outworld, and maybe even drive him to fight against Sub-Zero in a neat little package of a plotline. Time travel and alternate histories. The past few video games, Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11, had several plot lines that revolved around time travel and alternate storylines. Some of these plots followed villains such as Shinnok and Kronika, as they take center stage, and fans hope to see some of these loopy timelines make their way into the big screen, while Mortal Kombat 2 is more likely to have a villain like Quan Chi. Any more expansions in the form of a trilogy could greatly benefit from twisting time travel plotlines. This also creates a loophole for dead characters, such as Kano, to return to life without extensively complicating the lore. Onaga as the main villain. Some theories also propose that Onaga, also known as the Dragon King, might be introduced as the main antagonist of the sequel. All this while, Onaga's thirst for power has been a key characteristic of his personality, and it just might be time for him to unleash his powers and potentially bring destruction to entire timelines and multiverses. Character arcs and redemption. There has been a lot of talk about how the sequel might include several in-depth redemption arcs for characters such as Bi-Han Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and we have just glanced at their proposed storylines. In addition, fans are hoping to get more insights into characters such as Liu Kang and Kung Lao, whose lore might be familiar to fans who have played the games. So far, the reboot has struggled with giving adequately big roles to such important characters, and we can only hope that the sequel sheds light on their histories, with Raiden, Max Huang, and Ludi Lin have been cast to play Kung Lao and Liu Kang, respectively, and theories suggest that the latter might end up in a huge scuffle with none other than Shang Tsung, portrayed by Chen Han. Shang Tsung essentially represents the Outworld in Mortal Kombat, and the 2021 reboot focused on his attempts to kill Raiden's champions before the tournament. Now that the sequel will be centered around an actual tournament, fans are hopeful about a classic Liu Kang versus Shang Tsung face-off that pays homage to their past altercations in the game. Additionally, the casting announcements revealed that Adeline Rudolph will appear as Katana, and there is a good chance that we might get to witness her as Liu Kang's love interest. Circling back to Shang Tsung, he had once caught Kung Lao in a battle and drained his soul. In the present day, Kung Lao remains one of the few heroes who did not survive the events of the first film, when Shang Tsung used his powers to drain Kung Lao's ability. Moreover, Tsung has the impressive ability to steal and corrupt his victims' prowesses, and there is a slight chance that he would send his version of Kung Lao to fight against his enemies. In this turn of events, Tsung's version of Kung Lao might end up in a fight against Liu Kang, which seems to be quite an exciting prospect. New characters from MK lore. Set photos from Mortal Kombat 2 have revealed some new characters from the franchise's lore, such as Baraka, portrayed by CJ Bloomfield. Baraka is known to be one of the most fearsome fighters in the franchise until the 2021 movie depicted him in a more sympathetic light. It turned out that Baraka's mutation was a result of a virus outbreak, and he had then dedicated his life to working with the heroes. Fans collectively agree that it will be a delight to see him in a heroic light in the sequel. The sequel also seems to be inching towards a multiversal approach, which leaves a whole lot of room for new storylines and exciting characters such as Takeda and Mayato. Additionally, we can expect to see Tati Gabrielle as Jade, while Damon Harriman makes an appearance as Quan Chi. Sonya Blade's new role. Jessica McNamee is all set to portray Sonya Blade, who might have a brand new role in this sequel. According to some theories, she might appear as a part of an investigative agency that deals with outworld threats. This role might come as a breath of fresh air and highlight her evolution as a character who is now a part of bigger storylines, alongside Jax and Kenshi. Crazier fights and fatalities. While the Mortal Kombat reboot was packed with action, fans hope the sequel amps up the violence and the intensity of fight scenes. The reboot did not lack in terms of action in any way, but we truly believe that the sequel would be a lot more impactful if it incorporated signature fight moves from the games to elevate the scene. While the reboot did include many unique fatalities, there's a lot more where this came from, and it would be quite a delight to see a few more battles, special moves, characters with strange abilities, and tag team battle. Other fighting features such as bone-crushing attacks, environmental deaths, and finishers such as friendships or babalities would only add to the Mortal Kombat experience. Fans also felt that the reboot lacked some emotions and drama, and that the sequel has much more to offer regarding world building and creating profound connections before spilling the blood. Marvelous verdict. And with that, we have explored some of the craziest theories surrounding Mortal Kombat 2, as well as all the expectations that fans have from it, ranging from the crazy demand around an actual tournament to several promising additions to the cast. We are guaranteed a whole lot of drama and action from this sequel, as it expands into other realms and in-depth character backstory. We can hope for a teaser to drop anytime soon, but until then, We can only keep our fingers crossed. We hope you enjoyed exploring these theories surrounding its release, and we would love to hear your views in the comments below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.